Okay, we're live. So hello guys, I would like to congratulate you for reaching this far. I am Leonor Chenyika. I'll be taking you through the October-November 2020 examination. Okay, so let me just set my name. So it's Leonor Chenyika. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to start with let's start with number 1. So the question says all variables, constants, and other identifiers must have meaningful names. So identify one array you could have used for task number 1 and state its purpose. Okay, so the question says all variables, constants, and other identifiers must have meaningful names. Okay, so okay, I was just going through the instructions. Okay, so you just want to identify one array from task 1. I'm looking for task 1. Okay, so here's task 1. Task 1 says you need to complete these 3 tasks. So let me just go through all the instructions. So the question says for section A, you're advised to spend not longer than 40 minutes answering this section. And here's a copy of the pre-released material. And do not attempt tasks 1, 2, and 3 right now. And you're supposed to use the pre-release material and your experience from attempting the tasks before the examination to answer question 1. Okay, so the pre-release material is this. An online computer shop sells customized personal computers. Every computer sold includes a basic set of components costing $200 each, and additional items can be added from the table. Okay, so here are the additional items, okay, from the computer set. So as well as the basic set of components, every computer must include one case, one RAM, and one main hard disk drive from the table. So a computer is supplied with or without an operating system, and you're supposed to write and test a program or programs for the online computer shop. Okay, so your program or programs must include appropriate prompts for the entry of data, and data must be validated on entry. This is a lot of information, guys, so I'm just gonna rush here. Okay, so error messages and other output needs to be set out clearly and understandably. So all arrays, variables, and constants and other identifiers must have meaningful names, and you need to complete these 3 tasks. Each task must be fully tested. So task number 1, it is setting up the system and ordering the main items. Okay, you're supposed to write a program to use arrays to store the item code, description, and price, and allow a customer to choose one case, one RAM, and one main disk drive. Calculate the price of the computer using the cost of the chosen items and the basic set of components, and store and output the chosen items and the price of the computer. Okay, so the first question now says all the variables, constants, and other identifiers must have meaningful names. So you're supposed to identify one array you could have used for task 1 and state its purpose. Okay, so the array I'm going to choose is store. Please take note of how I'm writing these items, and someone may want to say sys price. I hope you get me there. Okay, so we are now moving on to the purpose of the array. So the purpose of the array for system is to store the system components. So let me just write this. is to store the system components that have been purchased. Okay, so just in case you had selected system price, the purpose of it would be to store the total the total price of the system being purchased. It's my dog who is making a lot of noise, I know that. Okay, so let's avoid a mess whereby somebody would think this is the same answer. So okay, so with this I'm gonna turn it red also, thanks to Microsoft Edge. Okay, so part 2, we're supposed to identify one variable that you could have used for task 2 instead its purpose. So we'll go to task 2, and the task 2 is ordering additional items, and you're supposed to extend task 1 to allow a customer to choose whether to purchase any items from the other categories, and if so, which items. You're also supposed to update the price of the computer, and you're also supposed to store and output the additional items on the new price of the computer. Okay, so let's move on. The question says identify one variable you could have used for task 2 and state its purpose. Please take note, we are no longer identifying arrays, we are identifying variables. Okay, so the variables variable I'm going to choose first is components. Okay, sorry, this should be blue. It's component, right? And in the event that you had okay, and somebody may have said I want to choose what total price. Okay, so as you agreed, this is gonna be red. Okay, so the purpose of the component variable, that is what we'll be describing here, as the question said, state its purpose. So the purpose for the component variable is to allow input of a component code Okay, so we've allowed the input of a component code. So we're now describing the purpose of this other variable in red, which is total price. So the purpose of total price is to store or calculate okay, so let me write this down. So it's to store or calculate the running total price of the system okay. So let's move on to number 3. You're supposed to identify one constant you could have used for task number 3, and you're going to state its purpose. Okay, what was task 3 talking about? Okay, so task 3 was offering discounts, and you're supposed to extend task 2 to apply a 5% discount to the price of the computer if the customer has bought only one additional item, and you're supposed to apply a 10% discount to the price of the computer if the customer has bought 2 or more additional items. And last but not least, you're supposed to output the amount of money saved and the new price of the computer after the discount. So identify one constant you could have used for task number 3, and you're supposed to state its purpose. So I'm thinking of constants. Okay, so there's offer. But guys, if you can clearly see, we have two constants. We are going to first offer 5% discount, and we are going to offer 10% discount here. Okay, so now the first constant we are going to it's supposed to be blue. To identify here is offer 5. Okay, and the second one should be offer 10. Okay, are we clear? And now to state the purpose, remember the examiner is going to check the integrity of your data. Is it logical? Okay, so now I need to state the purpose of the constant offer 5. So the purpose for the offer 5 is to store the one option discount rate. Okay, and the purpose of the second constant it would be obviously to store the two option discount rate. Okay, so I think we are done. So now here goes our trouble. So now we're going to explain the benefits of storing price as a real data type. Okay, so how many marks are we given? 2, right? Let's not think too much. 2 marks. So data is real. Okay. Or the first point may be or should be data can be stored. So come on, I'm not writing. Okay, so data it can be stored as decimal. Okay, and the other benefit would be real numbers. These real numbers, they can be used in calculations. Okay, and which is not possible, of course, which is not attainable by using a string. So let me just write this here. Okay, so I think we're done with the 2 marks, right? Okay, so let's move on. Right, so now we are asked to write an algorithm to show how you completed task 1 using either pseudocode, or programming statements, or a flowchart. And it is not necessary to show initialization or setting up of arrays in your answer. Okay, so how much space are we given here? Okay, yeah, it's quite much. Wow, it's much. Okay, so what I'm thinking here, right, So first you need to prompt the user to select which case they like.